In today's project, I'm going to be installing this ARB single air compressor in my 2021 Tundra. I'll show you how I'm going to mount it, how I'm going to simplify the wiring, and then at the end we'll test it. For mounting, I bought this off eBay. It goes on the passenger side where all the wire harnesses connect right over that box. This piece of aluminum I bought to go under here so that I can mount my master shutoff switch right here. So to start off, I'm going to drill these holes out, drill the holes out for this. We'll mount the compressor up and stick it in so I can see what kind of wiring I'm going to do. Alright, this is where it mounts up under the hood. I need to take this bolt out, and this one right here. And these are 10 millimeters, I think. Yep. And they're not torqued down very much. At least that one wasn't. Yeah. Okay, and the compressor will sit just like that. Probably gonna undo these and move it forward once I really mount it, but that's pretty much it right there. Now it's time to work on the wiring. This is the wiring harness they give you. This is the extra stuff for the lockers that I'm definitely not gonna worry about. All of this, I think we'll mostly need, but I will be cutting some off of this. So I'm going to strip all of this tape off and really see what we have here, because I really just need the pressure switch and the on-off. I got my wiring loom cut back here, and I think I have a game plan. So starting over here, we have these two which go to the positive and negative of the battery. This is for switch illumination. We'll come through. I'm going to keep the inline fuse here. This goes to the compressor. And then most of this other stuff is just junk. So on the relay here we have the wire coming from the battery, the wire going to the compressor. This blue wire here goes to one side of the pressure switch. And this other red wire I think is the only other one that I'll need. I think if I give this 12 volts, the compressor will kick on, it'll kick the relay on, and everything should work fine. This black here I think is for the switch illumination if you were going to use that, which I'm not. Next I'll throw this in the truck, make sure it's all going to fit, and then I'll wire it up and show it to you finished. Okay, here's the harness that I'm left with here. Again, these go into the battery, inline fuse, go into the compressor. This blue side goes to one side of the pressure switch. The red side, I will get main 12 volt power from the other side of my main switch. And this black I just cut off because I think it's for switch illumination. So I'm going to go ahead and put some ends on here, and I just need to cut here for my main switch. Before I can test this out, I need to go ahead and finish setting it up. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take this little red cap out and put my air filter in. Okay, this is where the air comes out. First thing that I'm going to put in here is a brass T, so that on one side I can put my pressure switch, and the other side I can put my air fitting. Put my Teflon tape on here. Should be able to just screw it in. And this is 1/4 inch MPT. It's hitting on the edge here. I'm gonna see if I can rotate this a little bit. If you loosen this bolt here, you can turn this up. Gonna install my pressure switch. And on this side, I'm just gonna install a regular air fitting here. Alright, I have my air filter on, my T on, my pressure switch, and my fitting. I think we're good now. I can go ahead and wire up this main switch and we can test it out. Here's the setup. On the battery we have the main neutral and then the neutral that goes to the relay and the positive. Here's the wires coming off the battery. This one neutral goes straight to the relay here. The other one goes straight to the motor. This comes off the battery to the main shut-off switch and then continues on to the relay here. And then we have blue from the relay going to the pressure switch and red coming off the main power here, the same side that's going to the relay. So now when I hit the switch, it should cut on for a second and then cut off because of the pressure switch. So there we go. Now if I want to test it and run it for a second, I'll just put this air fitting in. Heard it blow off there. Now it should run for however long until I shut the switch off. Oh. Okay, so the wiring works. Now we'll go ahead and finish mounting this all up and test her out. Okay, here's the final install. I need to clean this up a little more, but that's what the battery looks like right here. And then you can follow, I put some wire loom tape back on here. I ran it all along underneath here. And here we have the compressor. I moved it down a little bit. Here you can see the switch power going around through there. It's all mounted up. It looks good. It works. I think there's still air in it. On this fitting, I decided that I'm gonna put this braided hose in here just like this so that maybe it'll dissipate some of the heat, because I've heard these get pretty hot. Now if I'm airing up on this side or that side, I have a little wiggle room as well. I'll probably just leave this tucked down here like that. Alright, here's the rest of the line. It's pretty simple. This connects to the braided line. It's a nice stretchy line and just a cheap tire pressure gauge. These are BF Goodrich KO2s and I'm gonna go down to about 20 PSI. For this, I'm actually going to go ahead and move over to my digital pressure gauge. It'll be easier for you guys to see. Right now we're at 33.5. We'll go down to 20. I'm down to 20 PSI. One thing I forgot to mention is this compressor will run without the ignition the way it's wired up, but you probably don't want to air up all your tires on just the battery. It will kill it. So I'm going to go ahead and start my truck and hook this up and we'll see how long it takes. Okay, we're done. It took about 2 minutes to get done from 20 PSI to 40 PSI. Alright, I think that's going to do it for today's video. We got this thing installed on the mount, wired up, and tested. So, it took about 2 minutes to go from 20 PSI to 40 PSI, which is totally acceptable for what I'm doing. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.